definitely shout it out. You know, this is a conversation, you know, so it's, we'll kind of go, you know, just go with the flow. And I am a bit of a talker, but I will be cognizant of your time, so I will definitely try to keep it to a good time for tonight. So
yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm a youngster. I stay up late regardless, so.
Yeah, you know, I have the mindset of youngster. Probably just a little bit, just a tad bit older than just a tad. But especially since the quarantine, the hubby is a teacher, and they, you know, had a break for about a week, 2 weeks, plus then a spring break, and then they went to online learning.
Yeah.
Well, he has to record his lessons and things like that. So we're kind of back to our college schedule where we're up until 6 or 7, but then we have to be parents and get our kids breakfast and then get them on to their online learning, and then we sleep till like 1. We're back at it, you know, a couple hours later. So yeah, it's a vibe. So I'm just mixing up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly been an adjustment for everybody. Everyone's dealing with it in their own way, you know.
Yeah. I've really gotten into my new addiction is TikTok. I'm addicted to just I get on and I find myself like an hour and a half later. I'm like, okay, I haven't done anything. Just TikTok for an hour and a half. But I really like it. We'll kind of talk about this in the podcast. I kind of talked about it the past couple of ones, but like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Everybody's pretty much in TikTok right now. I mean, Drake made a song to be able to have something that went viral to go with the dance, and it's all over TikTok.
Right, yeah.
First of all, there's genius in that. I'm like, genius. So we'll also talk about how like I'm dealing with not having, you know,
yeah.
Well, that's not essential, unfortunately.
TikTok, how Lizzo got famous?
That's how she kind of started. Yeah. So she was doing TikTok, and I think she was doing Vine, a little bit of Vine too. But yeah, I know that she loves it. She's definitely one of the ones I follow. She does everything, like brushing her teeth. She just on TikTok. But
that's so funny.
So I don't know if you medicate during your tapings, but we have a session right at the beginning that's called Spark and Salutations.
Yes.
So if you would like, please feel free.
I'm like looking for anything to smoke.
Like give it your.
Nothing. Thank you. I apologize for my bad reception.
Oh no, it's coming through perfect. It's
okay,
awesome.
good.
Mine isn't bad.
Yeah, everyone's at home eating up all the internet, so.
I know, isn't it crazy? And it's so funny because like all the providers are like, we'll go ahead and increase everybody's, bandwidth or their speed or whatever. And it's like, well, if you're able to do that and not charge people more, then why do it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But we know why, because it's all about the moolah. About the moolah. So I am going to live recording of this episode. I have a very special guest that will podcast. So we're going to be talking with her. You guys will be able to see this video pretty soon here. But I wanted to come on and give a shout out because this episode is going to be kind of unofficially sponsored here by and Go Dad. Yeah, so thank you for my gear here. I appreciate appreciate that. Thank you for my drink. It's already it's helping this grow, and that's my day that I had. But you guys keep an eye out for my live. I'll provide it for everybody else. And you guys will see the video coming up very soon. Thank you so much. All right, that's enough. Because I didn't have my back. All right, sorry about that. So my co-host is saying it's needed to download the app on my computer. I don't know. All right. Okay, so we are just going to, it's going to be you and I today.
All right.
Which is perfectly fine. Get a little conversation going here. So, yes, so I will go ahead and just kind of with our intro. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on the latest episode of Menage with the MariJayneMaven. Of course, it's your girl here, MariJayneMaven. I'm going to be solo bolo, other than with the hubby, you know, with the voice from beyond that you guys have become so accustomed to loving and hearing. I do want to give a shout out to our special guest co-host. So I'm not really solo bolo. I have a nice, awesome, and beautiful co-host here, who is also the host of another podcast, which when you guys are done listening to this one, you should get on up, go follow hers, subscribe, and get your life in another way as well, as often as you get it from me. You know? So we have highly sexual podcast host here, and you go by your real name, right? Or
yes, I go by Maggie. Yeah, no secrets here.
Perfect. I love it. So everybody welcome Maggie. She's going to be hanging out with us today in our normal just craziness, random conversations, planned random conversations that, you know, I sometimes fall into. We're not going to have Vita. She's having some issues with, you know, technology in 2020. I don't know. It is what it is. But like I said, we are doing a little late night recording because you guys know how it is right now. I don't know what day it is. I could have sworn it was Wednesday yesterday. I just kept telling the hubby, I'm like, no, today is Holy Wednesday. And he's like, no, it's not. It's Tuesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Yeah. No, see, yeah, like yesterday I swore, I was like, no, but you just lose track of days. You know, it's not like you're living for the weekend anymore because everything is kind of weekend. You know? Yeah, so I hope everybody has their, you know, their litation, their elevation piece, wherever it may be that you're going to get elevated with tonight. I am drinking on a little bit of a concoction here, thanks to Q Bros for Go to Bed Extreme. So they provided me with a lovely T-shirt, which I'll kind of show off here. Might not take too much time. Maggie be, you know, giving a fashion show, but got a shout out the vendor that decided to give me some gear and a little bit of drinky drink. You can see that it's actually showing through, so you can't quite see that in my drink. But yes, so a really good drink. So in a bit here, I'll be feeling even more elevated than natural. You know, that elevation. So
I was smoking some. Oh, so sorry. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask. No, you were right. You read my mind. I was just gonna ask. So, what are you puffing on tonight? You know, while our guests prepare, our listeners prepare whatever they're gonna puff on.
So my mom actually grows cannabis here in Northern California. So she has been hooking me up, you know, during the quarantine. And I have been smoking on Sour Tsunami, a high CBD strain. Always put a little bit of keef on top, though.
Just got some, I think. I think that's what the hubby is sprinkling on our treat right now. Low key. That's dope. That's really good. So you said your mom grows a high CBD strain. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
you know, something that she utilizes or that you utilize for any other reason other than just the, you know, great relief that CBD flower provides?
Oh, so much relief. I mean, she does grow a lot of different types of strains, but every harvest there's always one or two, typically two high CBD strains, just because they sell really well, and also because, you know, we use it a lot. Her and I, like, I always ask her for some, so that's the one we always sell out of as well. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like once somebody, you know, smokes CBD flower, you know, it's different than having a edible. It's different than having a tincture. You know, that psychoactive, I call it, when you smoke the flower and it's a really good CBD flower, I feel like it's a euphoric psychoactive, you know, effect. You know, you don't know if you're high, you don't know if you're really relaxed, you don't know if you're just, you know, it's really euphoric in that,
Yes.
you know, that aspect. So I love a really good CBD flower. It's fun. You just don't see it a lot. I think with most people that want CBD flower, they'll go to a storefront, and it's just not a lot of pre-rolls or even loose flower that is high CBD.
Yeah, and you know, I spend a lot of time in dispensaries, and you know, I feel like I'm one of the few people that always ask, like, what's the highest ratio you have in your flower for CBD? And you know, some shops won't have it. It's true. Like, they won't have an eighth that's any ratio. It's interesting. So
yeah, they'll say maybe I have a pre-roll, and everybody, my listeners, knows, I do brand education for a couple of brands. So Lola being one of them, and they do have a really good 25 to 1. Yes, right. The calm. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, I mean, I will sell the shit out of that brand or recommend it when I'm doing a demo. So if I'm with another brand that I'm doing, let's say I'm for the vape company that I was with, but somebody comes in and they're like, I'm not in the vape, so I'm in a pre-rolls. I'm like, you know, I'm right over to it. Great product. I love that they, you know, they combine 4 different, you know, strains to get the exact effect. You know, so if it's the mingle, you can't really get that uplifting, that social effect just off of one flower.
Yeah.
It's just not quite. You may get a little bit of it, but you can get it when you kind of, you know, combine and cultivate, you know, a certain effect. And that's what I loved about them. I love that, you know, all of their products that they're, you know, consumed in. Actually, I think I just recycled the boxes that I had, but you're able to completely break all of it down. It's completely compostable. I love that. And then the CBD, like I started saying, that calm is just, I mean, 25 to 1. It is God's gift. It's the strain that they use, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's a great one. And I did like that because I tried the Mingle package. That's the one that and Transcend, but Purple Punch is usually a strain that doesn't sit very well with me, and it was in Mingle, but mixed with the other strains, it didn't have that same effect. So it was perfect. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yes, I think yeah, and you know, and I think it's because it has about 2% of that CBD in all of the strains too. So all of the other, you know, combinations, it has about 2% of CBD. So I think that, you know, and I'm sure you're familiar, you know, that CBD doesn't like bring you down, but it just kind of evens out, you know, that high. So maybe any anxiety that was, you know, brought up by, you know, the Purple Punch previously was, you know, able to be kind of evened out. The orange creamsicle, I think, is what was in that strain when they combined all those. But yeah, I love those. I know you said the Transcend. That is the Transcend and the Trans. Man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was using them for yoga. And that's because that's what the guy was doing on the box. And I wasn't creative enough to think of another activity.
I like that. I like it. I like the honesty too. You're like, I couldn't think of anything else, so I just went with it.
Yeah. And it was perfect.
Though, right? Yeah, we smoked the Trans and then started watching Game of Thrones. And it took us 3 tries to watch one episode because we were so lit, like so lit. So I don't recommend you watching Game of Thrones after Lola Trans, you know, or that matter. Yeah, that you're gonna be on your ass. We did like 10 other things. We were like playing dominoes. I think we like were watching we were doing random other things because we just could not concentrate. But yeah, good times. That was a good hike. Really good one. So I'm going now. I have my salutation spark up here. While
Big
we
old
do this,
bong.
everybody, I want to give a shout out. Love it. I love that. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to definitely meet when this whole corona, I call it a coronacation. Like, let's just lighten up things. Quarantine sounds so rough. This could be a quarantine sesh, but we're all on a quarantine. I like that there's a little thing going around Instagram today, and it's saying, if you would have told me 10 years ago that the government was going to pay for us to take all of April off and give us money to get lit on 420, I would have never believed it. And I'm like, facts. Like, that's basically what's happening. Really.
It's such a great way to look at it.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I know a lot of my friends are saying this is turning me into an alcoholic, and I'm like, turning you? Maybe highlighting, maybe not turning. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just have kiddies though, no children, so you're not having to homeschool and.
No, yeah, and there are people in my company that do have kids, so I see them on our Zoom meetings running around in the background and getting homeschooled and stuff, and I feel for them, and I'm just grateful. I mean, I'm too young, honestly. I'm only 24, so, and my fiance and I just got engaged, so if we have kids, it's so far. Thank you. It was actually a year ago that we got engaged, so it feels like.
Well, still, hey, that is awesome. No, that's awesome. It's crazy. You are only 2 years older than my oldest kid.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
Yes, I'm still young. So just telling her, man, she's like, I agreed to be on an old ladies podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. So I wanted to give a shout out. Definitely, you can go ahead and light up.
Okay.
Get your nice hit in. I'm going to take a second and give a shout out to our listeners for a bit here, because once again, you all in France, I don't know what it is. I love it. I love it that you guys love me so much. But we are at 52% of my listenership and my subscribers. 53% now is from France, and we've been able to actually pinpoint it down to Lyon, France. So to those of you that are in Lyon, France, the 53% of my listenership and subscribers, hell yeah, guys. Like,
hello. Bonjour.
Love you. Thank you. I know, right? Bonjour. I will legit, you guys give me a location. You let me know the place to stay. You let me know the best time to come. I will totally come and do my first live show ever in Lyon, France, because you guys are representing. So I appreciate you all. What I would love to do is have one of the listeners hit me up through IG, hit me up through email. First 5 listeners from that area, and you can prove that you're from that area, we're going to go ahead and send you guys some merch. We have some awesome t-shirts, we have some leggings, we have some awesome, just cool ass merch, and you guys can be also repping, the Mary Jane Maven out there. And I love that. Love it. Maybe it's because I use Menage. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes, Menage a trois.
Yes, and we have new listeners and sponsors or subscribers in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. Oh my God, love it. That must be because I love Guinness. Yeah, that's from Ireland, right?
Yeah.
I think it is. Because I could come out there and hang with you guys and drink like crazy. I would also that was in Sons of Anarchy. I remember what happened. When Sons came to Ireland. So excuse me, I want to give that shout out. So that is in place of our quote today. I just wanted to give a shout out and say thank you for all the love. I appreciate it. So kind of speaking upon that, tell me a little bit about and tell all the listeners and the viewers about your podcast and how it came about. I love the theme of it and the idea behind it.
Yeah, so I work in the cannabis industry, and I started out as a brand ambassador as well, a little over almost 2 years ago. Um, it'll be like 2 years this summer. So yeah, so now I'm doing, I've been working in the industry for a while, and I'm also a sex educator. So I have like my foot in like two realms. And I always thought that those two topics went really well together. And, the cannabis industry is for adults, and sex is kind of like an adult topic. And, well, it definitely is. And so, I was
Yeah.
like, why not? I just found such acceptance in the cannabis industry for my sexual side that I felt like, these two things go really well together. Maybe I should, start a podcast about those two things, because those are my two passions. And I want to be a sex coach one day. Like, I'm saving up for this training, and, the podcast kind of helps me keep my mind in that sex coach mindset while I'm like doing my job that makes me money.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's awesome. And I think I want to, give you kudos for being able to identify what your passion is, at an early age, because you're going to be able to spend the best parts of what you're working, years doing your passion, and it's not going to seem like work at all. We definitely have to
Right.
talk offline, even do like another episode, because I'm looking into, I'm an Aries. I like to have multiple streams of income. But I've also, in the past 3 to 4 years, come to realize what my true purpose and passion is. And it isn't educating, and it isn't educating what I'm passionate about, which I can agree.
Yes.
Cannabis and sex. I mean, why
Yeah.
not?
Wow,
Who
we're
would
so
not love those things?
similar. Oh my goodness.
So much joy. Yes, right? Yes. So much joy. So I'm looking into the training as well, and wow, it is not as a, it's an investment, because you are helping people. You are
Yeah.
in that realm of psychiatry, in a way. But geez, it's not cheap. It's definitely an investment. So
No, yeah,
I've been looking into that, as well.
it surprised me. And, that's why I went the sex educator route first, because it was a little bit cheaper to get the certification. And also, I figured I could get a job being a sex educator. Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
best laid plans of mice and men. Things
Yes.
go astray.
So
So,
how did you determine about the sex educator course, or is it certificate program, or tell us a little bit more about that?
So I did a certification program through San Francisco Sex Information. So it's kind of like a nonprofit organization, and you do 60 hours of training, and you take a test at the end, and then they'll endorse you with the certificate. It's not like a super like official, like I couldn't really get a job at Planned Parenthood possibly, but it's definitely like I'm qualified to give people sex information, and also I know the tools to kind of figure out what things are factual and not.
Yeah, yeah. For example, and this is so random, but this is what I think of. For example, what is it called? The blue waffle? Like, that's supposed to be an STD, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So it's something like that. Is that like, because my son tells me, my oldest is like, Mom, that's such an urban myth. Like that's an urban, fable. And then, these guys that I used to work with, and, they were like, no, dude, it's totally real. I knew a girl that had it. Like, they're showing me Google images, and I'm just like, okay.
Well,
So there may be people out there as well, but just things like that. For example, you're able to decipher between that's bullshit and no, this is real.
Right. And also they teach you kind of like how to just be non-judgmental, and just kind of like meet people where they are. And you do a lot of role playing, and it's 60 hours, and then there's extra work on top of that. And so it's pretty intense.
Yeah, that seems really cool. I'm gonna have to look into that. I am doing a kind of a spin-off of this podcast, and it's called After Dark. So it's Menage-ing After Dark, And
Ooh.
last week, the guest and I, a gentleman who is just as honest and open as I am, maybe actually pretty interesting to have us do one together. I'd love to have you in those conversations. He's hilarious. He has a story for everything, like legit everything, like anything you could possibly come up with. He's like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah, so it was a good time. But we were talking about if I became a sex educator, what would be my bonus? What would be my niche? And I said, learning how or giving fellatio classes. But instead of, Tupperware parties or, passion parties, which I used to do as well, it would be I'd bring, the appropriate different size, items.
Yes.
And really give a good class. And take away the stigma and teach women that there's so much power in it. Stop at like, yeah. So
yes. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that sounds amazing, and that's exactly what a sex coach does. Like that's literally something that people do in the Bay Area. People pay for, and you would definitely be great at.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it. And I have family in the Bay, so we're not too far apart. I know my listeners are in the Sacramento area, and for those of you that don't know, I know that you guys may see TV and they say Bay Area, and that means San Francisco. Well, it's like all encompassing of like 30 cities and towns. So it's very wide, but the vibe in the Bay Area is it's a vibe. No, it's a vibe in the Bay Area. It's very diverse. People are pretty laid back. I think if there was ever an idea of what California was like as far as like people being like really chill and laid back, that's more of the Bay than it is like Southern California. Like they try to make all of California up here. So have you grown up in the Bay Area your entire life, or? So
I'm actually from LA. I grew up in LA with my mom. We were kind of, like I grew up pretty poor, we just like lived in the city. And when I was in college or when I went to high school, I was like, I want to go to college and I think I can get in for pretty like with scholarships since we're poor, and I did really well in high school. And so I got into UC Davis and I did get a lot of scholarships and stuff, so it was pretty good.
Maggie. Yeah, you're talking to alumni over here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. Oh, that's cool as hell. Look at that. We were definitely meant to talk and to do this.
Yes.
That's cool as hell. Yeah, I will say, I'm so jealous of anybody that's gone to Davis in the last few years, though, because the town is so much better than when we went to school there.
Oh, I love Davis. I fell in love with it when I was there. It's the best.
It is. It's amazing. If it wasn't so expensive, we probably would still be there. Like and raise our kids there and everything. So it looks like our Vita, our guest is maybe joining in by phone here. So we'll jump right in. But that's awesome. So how long have you been gone from Davis? I think it's her picture. Just down. You're on the phone, huh?
Oh, I was like, she's not moving.
Yeah, she's just supposed to. Vita, you're on just audio, yeah? Can't hear yet. Okay. She'll chime in. If you can hear me, she'll jump right in. So how long have you been since you graduated?
So I graduated in 2017. So it's only been like 3 years, I guess, if I'm doing my math right.
Oh my gosh, girl! Congratulations! Like 21.
Yeah. Well, I double majored in psychology and political science. It happens every time. It always happens to me. I understand.
Thanks to Q Bros. That key. And yes, thanks to the hubby, because he rolled it good. Damn. That just was woo. Okay. But like as I was saying, kudos to you once again. You double majored and graduated by the time you were 21, 22. That's fucking awesome. That's badass. I was just going to school at 23. So, hey.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
This is Vita, our co-host. Vita, this is Maggie.
Hello. It's nice to meet you over Zoom.
You said what? Oh, so, okay. She's connecting to audio. All right, perfect. There we go. So awesome. Okay, so you are, like, we'll go back. Like, this is how my interviews go. I remember stuff.
Right.
Topic, and then I go back. So you are a brand educator. You know, you are a sex educator. And you decided, you know, because it's very obvious that it's in you to continue to utilize those skills and work within your passion every day. So I think that's genius that you decided to utilize, you know, my talents and my skills and start a podcast. So tell us about how long has your podcast been going on? And is it just you? Is it you and your boyfriend? Also, like, Beyonce, that's right. Excuse me, that's so big. Beyonce, right?
Hello, Vita, by the way. We can sort of hear you. Now she's on mute, but so
she's getting it. Okay.
hello.
She'll jump right in because okay, we'll get her in here. Just have a little difficulty with her phone, I think.
Technical difficulties is the definition of quarantine stuff, honestly. Sorry, coronacation.
No, that's okay. So what we'll do actually is we'll try to help her out here. So what we'll do is we're gonna go ahead and go to our sponsors really quick, and we're gonna talk to you guys about how you can still be getting everything that you need through monthly. You guys remember monthly, you know, awesome subscription service. Monthly.com is where you can go. Monthly Club, and we'll talk to you guys about that. Listen on up to this here and make sure you listen so that